think really all we've got left is Lore Corner.
Ooh, Lore Corner. I got my Grimoire book, by the way.
I love it. It's so good.
I know.
I love how those books
It's definitely the best one so far.
I think so.
At least, like presentation-wise, it's definitely the best.
Yeah. They've learned a lot since they started making them a couple of years ago.
Mm.
You put one out every year, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So for Lore Corner tonight, we're going to keep reading about the caches that Cayde left. We're going to read a few more of them. Kind of give some insight into who Cayde was as a man, and we're going to start the man who they called Cayde next week. Just while we're kind of wrapping this season up, I want to talk a lot about Cayde. He's been on my mind lately.
I saw someone with a Cayde shirt on Twitter, and I was like, oh, man. I remember that guy.
I'm trying to find where I was going to start at. Okay, so we're going to start with the cache that he leaves for Tannix. This one's for the Armless Coward, Tannix the Sacred. Or Scarred, not Sacred. If you're listening to this, you killed me, but I bet I took a big chunk of your ugly husk with me. Guess Andal Brask wasn't enough for you, huh? You wanted another Hunter Vanguard for your sick collection? I got my share of regrets, sure, but not putting a bullet in you has got to rank in the top 3. Won't be long before a better guardian than me puts you in your place. Just wish I could be there to see it. So that's kind of that in a strange way. That's like kind of prophesying what we're going to do in the Deepstone Crypt to Tannix. We're going to put him down yet again, even though we did it twice in Destiny 1. This one's for the fellow who calls himself the Drifter. You did warn me running with you would put a target on my back. Guess I'm in good company though, huh? After all, never had any fun without a little risk. That's the whole idea with the operation you're putting together, ain't it? My idea, by the way. Had it like a million years ago, back when you were still handsome. So you're welcome. You know, getting that up and running means coming out of hiding, giving you-know-who another shot at you. Hope I was around to see that showdown. Personally, my money was on the guy with the golden gun, but hey, what do I know? I'm dead. He is referring to... oh God, I'm blanking on his. Oh Jesus Christ! I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. I talk about him all the time. I feel really bad now. Oh Jesus Christ! I can't. I feel really stupid right now because I've been asking for it. Shin Malphur. That's Shin Malphur. God, Shin, the original, one of the original wielders of the Last Word after Jaden Ward. He inherits not only the gun, but Jaden's ghost as well. He's the only person we know who has inherited a ghost of another person. Shin, of course, with his fight with Dredgen Yor, is legendary at this point. He's the first one to ever infuse the light into a gun, and that's why the golden gun, when you pull it out, is the last word. Him and Drifter have a feud that goes back hundreds of years, especially because Drifter runs with the Dredgens. You know, hey, the dark is good, this and that. We know what they're referring to here is Gambit. Cayde was helping get Gambit up and running and felt it was necessary for the Guardians. And we also know from the lore that Shin and Shaxx were secretly keeping tabs on this. Shin was sending his own agents in there disguised as Dredgens to try and get close to the Drifter. Even has us spy on him a little bit. Not he doesn't have us, but somebody has us spy on the Drifter. And that's when you have to make the loyalty choice back in Joker's Wild. But I like this bigger world building, especially when it comes to the Hunters, because it's basically the only one we ever got on screen was Cayde. Shiro. Shiro doesn't count, though. They basically did nothing with him, unfortunately. Other than that, they're all dead. We hear about them in the lore, and that's about it. We covered Petra last week. We covered Deepstone Crypt last week. Where's the other one? Oh, this one I like. This one's for any hunter who kills me. Best guess? Marcus Wren. You realize you get my stuff now, right? All my stuff, including the Hunter Vanguard gig. Yeah, congratulations, dummy. That's what we call a Vanguard dare. Sucks, doesn't it? Okay, brace yourself for some advice, hotshot. 1, know your people. Like my Nessus scout, Quantus Reed. I like to call her about once a moon, else she gets a little too much night and not enough stalker, 2, keep your weapons sharp. Your job's to watch everyone's back, which means no one's watching yours but you. And 3, start thinking now about what you want to do for your successor's Vanguard dare. Because trust me, kid, the gig is going to kill you. And that's true. There's a reason why there's no ex-Hunter Vanguards. They're all dead. The only one that we have an inkling of that might still be alive is Tallulah Fairwind, who was back before Andal. So, like, hundreds of years ago. One of the very first ones. But it is clear. Andal is dead. Cayde is dead. They've pretty much set it up pretty perfectly at the end of the High Celibate mission to imply that Uldren is at least going to the Crow, is going to come to the tower sometime soon. And if he is not the Hunter Vanguard by the time of the Witch Queen, I'll be shocked.
Yeah.
That's the gig they're setting up for, which I think is really good. I think it's necessary for the evolution of the universe.
Yeah.
I
think that's going to play out really interesting. I know we talk about it a lot, but the fact that they absolutely hate him for what he did to Cayde, and now he has to take Cade's job and doesn't even really know what he did yet.
Yeah, he has no idea, but he's been killed repeatedly by Guardians over it.
Yeah.
So. Who is the last one? We're gonna do one more. We're not gonna do Zavala and Ikora's, because, it has basically no bearing. It's just it's a lot of his personal relationships. This is the last one. It's the last one that you find. It's for the Guardian. This one's for the strong, silent type. You. Congratulations, buddy. I mean that. Always knew you'd have to do me someday. And if that means you had to do me into... you saved my life on Nessus, so I owed it to you anyways. Take care of the Ace of Spades, will you? I'm not just talking about the maintenance. Banshee can help you with all that. Take care of Ace. Use it well. Oh, hey, and if you found any of those papers from my earlier deployments, burn them. Don't want people poking through the lives of Cayde 0 through 5. So just put it all behind you, okay? Every story has an end, and this is mine. It's rough. It's rough to read that. Right? Because...
Ace is his kid, right?
Ace is Cayde's son.
Yeah.
He wakes up, when he's resurrected, there's a journal next to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's letters he was hypothetically writing to his son. We're going to definitely get into Cayde's past next week. We're going to talk about the man who they called Cayde. But one thing I wanted to bring back to everybody's attention, last week we talked about what he wrote to Petra. And the final sentence of what he did is he says, and tell Paladin Orin, which Paladin Orin is the Agent of the Nine, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If the sun over Nessus escapes Nebula Cycle, evac labor under dawn, under solstice. If you go ahead and you space all of that out, it spells out, if you take the first letter out of every word, it spells it's on Enceladus. And that's where the theory of the Deepstone Crypt came from, was that, oh shit, we're going to go to Enceladus. That's where it's at. That's got to be where it's at. There's something to the Deepstone Crypt people in this as well. And I think they're holding it. I don't know what they're holding it for, but it's clearly something having to do with the Nine or with the Awoken. I would stay specifically with the Nine. Maybe it's what Mara is off doing. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very curious to know what happens with that. That's one of the more outstanding mysteries, is it's on Enceladus. And that's not even something I would have even realized. This really shows the importance of people who understand this much more than I do. Had Bife never talked about it, I probably would never have understood the importance of that. But I do think that we are going to see more Clovis Bray stuff at some point. Because, Enceladus is a moon of Saturn.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, maybe that's somehow where we fight Savathun. Who knows?
Maybe it's part of the Witch Queen raid.
Yeah. I was going to say, maybe it's part of the Witch Queen raid. Maybe that's the true crypt or something. Who knows? there's so much stuff. Like, we're not even close to being done with Clovis Bray's part in this story.
Right.
So yeah, who knows? Yeah, but it's on and so maybe Cayde found a pyramid ship. We know he worked very closely with the Awoken, much more than anybody else from the city. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? It was him and Eris were the ones who really worked with them.
Right.
There's a couple of others. There's Zavala. There's Ikora. And the other one is for there's one for Hawthorne and there's one for Eris. Basically, for each of the main characters in Forsaken, there's one. So, encourage you to go read those on your own. You can find the complete dialogue on Ishtar Collective. That's where I just read these off of. And next week we're going to start The Man Who They Called Cayde. We're going to start that lore book. We're going to read from the fancy Grimoire Anthology Volume 3.
Can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
I'm also excited. Well, Josh, that wraps up Lore Corner.
Yeah, I think that's all I've got for tonight. If you've got something, fire.
No, I mean, this is our shortest show in a while. I think it's fine to have short shows, right? Like, I mean, it's what we intended to set out for at the beginning anyway. But, I mean, besides, the new season coming up, there's nothing really going on at this point, So, I mean, I think it's
pretty short overall. Yeah. There's not a lot. Like, catch up on Hawkmoon if you haven't done it. Do the High Celibate. Some cool stuff. They've said there's still some more surprises to come before the next season.
Yeah.
So the theory is there may be another legendary pinnacle weapon that'll get revealed. Maybe a third exotic. Who knows?
Yeah.